pledge allegiance to the flag of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Be seated. Okay, can the clerk please give us a roll call of attendance?
Committee member Aranda,
Here.
committee member Korea.
Here.
Committee member DeBreeze. And Chair Maderos.
Here. Okay, we come to the part where the general public comments. The public comments generally are limited to 3 minutes per speaker on items that are not on the agenda. The chair may further limit the time for public comments depending on the agenda schedule. If you are attending in person and wish to make a public comment, please fill out a speaker card and state your name. Do we have anybody in the public who would like to come up forward and speak before the board? Here in the audience.
None in the chambers.
Are there any hands raised out in the Zoom world?
Chair seeing none.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Chair Maderos, before we move on, would be appropriate to mention that Dan DeBreeze has an excused absence.
Okay.
Just for the purpose of the minutes.
Okay, thank you for that information. And now we go to item number 3, which is consent items. There are 2, and A is approve the affidavits of the posting agenda, and B, approve the minutes for June 6th meeting, 2023. Does anyone here have in the board members who want to pull an item from any one of these two items? Is anybody in the audience, the public, would like to come forward and pull an item from the minutes or the affidavit of posting agenda? Is anybody on Zoom?
None at this time.
Okay, thank you. Next item is item number 4, action items. One action item which is recommend to the planning commission approval of site design review permit to allow a proposed projecting sign 8 inches height by 24 inches wide on a property located at 407 2nd Street. The parcel number is 002-140-001. Apparently, the applicant name is Kevin Herrick. So we have items A, B, C, and D, and E. Okay, do we have a presentation from anyone at this time as far as the applicants are concerned? And do we have staff?
Yeah, just staff report.
Excuse me, Brian, before we continue, Chair, can we get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Can we get a motion to approve the consent items A and B?
So moved.
Second. We have an approved motion by board member Aranda and seconded by board member Korea. Can we have a roll call, please, from the clerk?
Board member Aranda,
Yes.
board member Korea,
Yes.
Chair Maderos.
Yes. Sorry about that. You said you want to have a quick meeting, so we're on the same page here. We know that. Yes, so the action items, so again, recommend to the planning commission approval of a site design review permit.
Yes, Chair Maderos, members of the board. This proposed sign at 407 2nd Street is a projecting sign consistent with the National Preservation Brief 25 as indicated in the staff report and the city's sign guidelines. And we're recommending that the HRB recommend to the planning commission that they approve the site and design review permit.
Okay,
Concludes the staff report.
thank you for that. Do we have any questions, concerns, or comments from the board members? Board member Correa, do you have any comments or questions?
No, no comments.
Board member Andrade? I'm sorry,
Yes.
Jose.
No questions. Pretty straightforward.
Okay. So that being said, can we have do we have any members of the audience, or the public have any comments or concerns or questions?
Nobody in chambers and no hands raised, Chair.
Do we have anybody on Zoom?
No hands raised at this time.
Okay, that being said, thank you very much for that. Is it, we're gonna have a motion from someone here to approve this?
I move we approve the resolution.
I second that.
This is just a recommendation to planning commission.
Yes, just a motion, no resolution.
So, we have, a recommendation approved by, board member Correa and a second by board member Aranda. I want to do it right. You put me here in the last minute, my tongue gets a little tight. Okay, that being said, so we have an approval. Can we have a roll call, please? From the clerk.
Committee member Aranda,
Yes.
committee member Korea,
Yes.
Chair Maderos.
Yes. Okay, now we go to item number 5 was a discussion item. And item A, Historic Preservation Program Review and Update Program. Staff, do you have a presentation for us at this time for
And I
that?
have nothing to report.
You don't have any? Oh, okay. So does any board member have any things that they want to discuss it as far as this item is concerned? Which is Historic Preservation Program Review and Update Program?
Other than are we rescheduling that discussion or
We will. I don't have anything on the agenda for this item, but just in case, a member has or a board member has anything they want to bring up. Board member DeVries wanted to talk about the ordinance. And so that item was to accommodate that. His desire to mention something about the ordinance itself. And I know that there's a desire to go over the ordinance. Our preservation consultant would like that. So we're just trying to get an idea of what board members think should be, how we should tackle this. So, but we don't have anything this evening.
Okay. So that being said, is there anything in the member and the public that want to come forward and speak to this discussion item?
Nobody in chambers, Chair?
Anybody on Zoom?
Seeing no hands raised?
Thank you very much. Next item, number 6 is comments. Do we have any further comments from the Historic Resource Board members? Board member Correa?
No comments.
How about from board member Jose Aranda?
no comment?
Thank you for that. Do we have any further comments from the chairperson here? I don't have any comments. I even forgot to even ask myself whether I need to comment or approve on whether. But anyway, that being said, no, I don't have any comments at this time. How about the Community Development Director? Do we have any comments from you, sir?
No comments.
Thank you very much for that. I would like to take a motion to adjourn the meeting. Entertain a motion.
Move we adjourn the meeting.
I second that.
I can say second to myself, I guess. But anyway, that being said, we are going to adjourn the meeting as of this time. The time is looks like it's 6:09 p.m. Meeting is adjourned as far as I'm concerned at this time. Motion has been made by Correa and seconded by Aranda. We have a vote on that, please? By the clerk?
Board member Aranda,
Yes.
Board Member Korea,
Yes.
Chair Maderos.
Yes,
Motion
meeting is adjourned. Thank you so much.
We'll take a 5-minute setup break here. All right, so it is now 6:15 PM, and I would like to call the Planning Commission meeting of Tuesday, August 1st, 2023 to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, can I please get a roll call?
Commissioner Korea,
Here.
Commissioner DeBreeze, Commissioner Maderos,
Here.
Chair Aranda.
Here.
Chair, can we recognize Dan DeBreeze as absent, excused for the minutes?
Got it. Yes, so Dan DeVries has an excuse absence for today, so just want to let everyone know. Moving on to item number 2, general public comments. This is the time for the general public comments on items that are not on the agenda and are under the city subject jurisdiction. The Planning Commission will not engage. If you have anything that requires follow-up, staff will get back to you. Public comments are generally limited to 3 minutes per speaker. The chair may further limit the time for public comments depending on the agenda schedule. If you are attending in person and wish to make a public comment, please fill out the speaker card and state your name for the record. At this time, I am going to open up the floor for public comments. Are there any members in the public that would like to make a comment?
Yes, you can come up.
Please come up.
Just-
Oh, and is it unmuted? You know.
Vanessa Lauber.
Welcome.
Okay, hi, my name is Vanessa. I live at 417 7th Street here in town. We live right behind Highway 156, and we had a sound wall earlier this year that fell and hit our house. It was during the time in January when it was stormy and windy. The sound wall is 102 feet. It goes across from my house to the next door neighbor's house. And majority of it fell and hit the house. I've made numerous attempts to the city. I've spoken with Minerva Arredondo. And also somebody else who handles permits within the city. I can't remember her name. I've only spoken with her on the phone, so I don't have any emailed records. After going back and forth with Minerva after months, she finally told me to submit a public records request. And that, in her words, by law, the city had 10 business days to respond to me. And what I was looking for with that request was permits to see if the wall was permitted when it was built, if it was inspected by the city when it was built, for safety reasons. And I submitted that request on April 17th, and I got confirmation from the Deputy City Clerk Elizabeth Soto on that same day that it was received and that somebody would respond promptly or accordingly. And I have not heard back since then. And again, I'm just looking for permits just to see if the wall was permitted and inspected when it was built, because it's just been an ongoing issue and I don't know exactly the liability and who's responsible and things like that. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Liz, would we mind getting back to Vanessa or put that on one of our items to track?
Yes, I'll make sure to follow up.
All right, thank you. Anyone else in chambers? Seeing none, I'm going to be moving over to Zoom land. Anyone on Zoom for public comment?
Seeing no hands raised, Chair.
And we will move on to the next item. Item number 3, consent. There are 5 items on the consent agenda. Would any commissioner like to pull an item for a separate vote, separate discussion? Would any member of the public like to pull an item? Commissioners? All right, seeing none from our commission. Anyone from the public in chambers?
Seeing no hands raised via Zoom.
And in Zoom? Nothing.
Not at this time, or
All right, then I guess we'll move on to approving the affidavit of the posting agendas. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, can we just go ahead and approve them all? Or do I have to go one by one? All right, then can I get a motion or to approve?
I move we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it for items A, B, and C, and D and E for the consent items.
Clerk, can I get a roll call? Or, I'm sorry, I already got the motion.
Commissioner Correa,
Yes.
Commissioner Maderos,
Yes.
Chair Aranda.
Yes. And
Motion
then,
carried.
thank you. Moving on to item number 4, action items. Consider recommendation of the Historic Resources Review Board regarding a proposed project sign 8 inches of height by 24 inches wide on a property located at 407 2nd Street, APN 002-140-001. Kevin Herix. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. Staff, is there a report?
Yes, just briefly, this is a recommendation from the Historic Resources Board to approve a projecting sign at 407 2nd Street. It's consistent with, as noted in the staff report, consistent with the preservation brief applicable to this type of sign, and also the city sign guidelines. So we're recommending that you adopt the resolution with one correction. The resolution does state that it is a 36-inch by 24-inch sign, and that just simply a change in the title, should read 8 inches by 24 inches. The rest of the resolution is correct. So we're recommending that you approve the resolution approving the sign. site and design review permit, sorry.
Commissioners, are there any questions? And then any comments or questions from the public in chambers?
Nobody in chambers, but we do have one hand raised in Zoom. Ms. Boris Lopez, you have 3 minutes.
Yes, good evening, planning commissioners. I just had a question about the sign. I read the specifics plans for it. It does follow the historic resources recommendations for signage and our ordinances and codes. I just had a question as to, it was not in the report unless I missed that, what actually will be printed on the sign? What sort of lettering style or font was not also designated in that ordinance. So neither the sign title or business title nor the style of font or characters.
Oh, staff.
In answer to those questions, it's a simple lettering. It's not a script. It's just block letters, black letters within the framework of the sign. And you know, just basically black letters on an aluminum background.
Any further questions? Councilmember Morris Lopez? Oh, looks like she's reconnecting.
Ms. Morris Lopez, you're unmuted. If you wish to speak.
Oh, it's just to follow up on that. I didn't hear staff, Mr. Fouch, describe what would actually be printed. What is the name of the business to be on that metal sign in the standard block letters? That's pretty general, but
Yeah,
what
it's
is the name of the business?
Yeah, it's very general. Just say doctor's office.
Doctor's office, as in doctor, medical doctor, or PhD doctor?
Doctor's office. That's the proposed lettering.
So it will be a medical office,
Yes,
and in the location in the zone, is that permitted business to be in that particular
yes,
location?
yes, permitted.
I didn't see that on the report. I'm sorry, maybe I overlooked it.
This is just simply a site and design review permit for a sign.
Thank you.
Any other questions from Zoom?
Not seeing any hands raised, Chair.
All right, thank you. All right.
One correction, it will either say medical office or doctor's office. I believe it says medical office.
All right, then, with that being said, can I get a recommendation to approve the site and design review permit to allow the installation of the proposed project sign?
Yes, I'll make a motion, a resolution of the planning commission. And by the way, what's the resolution number going to be? Does anybody know?
It'll be the resolution next in order.
Next in order, okay. A resolution of the planning commission of the city of San Juan Bautista approving a site plan and design review permit for a sign permit for a 8-inch by 24-inch by 1/8 inch thick projecting sign for 407 Second Street. The parcel number is 002-140-001.
Second the motion?
And with that being said, can I get a roll call vote?
Commissioner Korea,
Yes.
Commissioner Maderos,
Yes.
Chair Aranda.
Yes. Then moving on to action item 4B, appoint an ad hoc committee and direct such committee regarding review and recommendations to the planning commission for amendments to section of 1104-020 and 030, mixed use and commercial and industrial districts of the zoning ordinance. Staff, do we have a report?
Yes, this is just a agenda item to appoint an ad hoc committee. And with respect to the agenda item itself, that is all that's on the agenda.
Got it. All right, well, we came here to make an ad hoc committee for this, and this came from Dan, our Commissioner Dan DeVries, in hopes of trying to set up another committee for 1104-030. And unfortunately, he's not here. So I'm hoping to see if maybe we can just move this to
The commission can appoint an ad hoc committee.
without him here.
Yes, I think
Okay.
so. And I think at the last planning commission meeting where this came up, there were some volunteers or sort of informal, people on the commission,
Got it.
sort of volunteered to be on the ad hoc committee. I think that's a matter of record, so.
Okay, yeah, I know Dan wanted to be on there, so I just didn't know if he had to be here to say. So in that case, yeah, I would like Dan to be on there. If you guys don't mind, I would like to be on there, and if any of my other commissioners would like to join.
No, I think that's correct. I would like to think that you would be on the ad hoc committee. I think you kind of brought up the subject and was involved earlier on when this became a subject matter for our meetings. Also, Dan was eager to work on this as well, so I'm looking forward to both of you working on it.
And then, all right, cool. Then, all right, well then, with that being said, is there any questions here in chambers from the public?
Nobody in chambers, and I'm seeing no hands raised via Zoom.
Okay. Then, I guess it would, if I can get a, staff, what would I call that? Just it's not a recommendation, it's just an action, right?
It's an action item. Somebody would make a motion to appoint the ad hoc committee to look at, and again, I think that it's appropriate to indicate what the ad hoc committee is supposed to do.
Okay.
Basically, it's an ad hoc committee to advise the planning commission regarding appropriate amendments to 11-04-020 and 030. And thereafter, so that the commission can follow up on the city council's direction to planning commission to evaluate proposed ordinance changes.
Got it. All right, so then, the other only comment that I would have is, and this is just for the public, once this ad hoc committee is created, we would essentially be meeting with staff to see what the city needs are regarding 1104-030 and 020, as well as also meeting with members of the public, stakeholders as in our local businesses in town. And there'll be more information on that, but we will be reaching out to those to get some feedback and figure out what needs are needed from our local businesses as well. Other than that, can I get question.
Jose, has staff worked on any of this at all with the draft?
Yeah, there was a, there was a preliminary draft, sort of, sort of initial, sort of staff take on potential amendments that could be made to 11-04, 030, and 020. But that was just simply to get things started with respect to conversation. And again, the ad hoc committee is not, doesn't require public hearing notices and so forth, but certainly the ad hoc committee can access any community resources and input that you might like. And then that would become subject matter for the planning commission to discuss also.
Yeah, I would like to see. My suggestion is I'd like to see a report coming back to the planning commission in the form of, before and after kind of thing, where this is where the code is right now, and this is what we suggest to make changes. You can see the difference physically in written down in a document that way, where we can and present that as a report. And highlighting what areas have been affected by the changes, if any.
Yes, and
Thank
we'll
you.
staff the ad hoc committee, so that's
Perfect.
not a problem. Goes with the territory.
Great. All right, that being said, can I get a motion to break this?
Approve the ad hoc committee.
Yeah, to approve the ad hoc committee.
So moved.
Second,
Clerk, can I get a roll call?
Commissioner Correa,
yes.
Commissioner Maderos,
Yes.
and Chair Aranda.
Yes.
Motion carried.
And moving on to item number 5, comments. Any comments from our planning commissioners?
No.
I have none.
And I have once. I saw Brian look at me. And then any comments from our community development director?
There's just one, at the end of the month, we will be having a joint planning commission city council meeting on the housing element. So look forward to that. You've got the housing at draft, public review draft housing element, and fair housing analysis, 2 separate documents distributed in your packet this evening. So, and those are available for public review on the city's website and at the public library, in addition to here at City Hall. And if anybody has any questions about those documents, I'm the contact person for answering any of those questions. And we will have our consultant here in person on the for the joint meeting, which is, I believe, the 29th. Okay, so at the end of August 29th, the joint meeting.
Thank you. And then moving on to item number 6. Oh, that's not even on. We're just going to adjourn. So the next regular meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, September 5th, 2023. It is now 6:37 p.m. This meeting is adjourned. Liz, do I need to ask for yeah. Sweet. All right. Thank you so much, everyone.
I hope Dan gets better.